Hey there, welcome to In Game Live, brought to you by Nissan, Amy Fadool and Ron Jaworski. And that's a very interesting first half we just saw, Jaws. 20-17. Obviously, the Giants are moving the ball, something you talked about in pregame. You knew that Jackson Dart could get stuff done with his legs, but he's getting it through the air. Coming into this game, he had 0 passes over 20 yards. Now he had 3, including that big touchdown.
Yeah, he's playing really good football. And Jackson Dart came in this league as a guy that had a big, strong arm.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'2.5", 225 pounds. He's big and strong. We haven't seen it out of him so far in the Giants' regular season games. Until today, he's like exploding out of the blocks, making plays with his arm, with his legs, reading coverage, reading the blitz. He looks like a veteran quarterback right now. And Vic Fangio's tried to heat him up a few times with a number of blitzes. There's been a good pass rush, but Dart's been able to escape the would-be tacklers and make plays with his legs. And he's also managed the game very well. They're running the ball effectively. Scadaboo's giving them good positive yards. We're moving the ball well too, though. So no, I'm not worried about that. I think we're still in control of this game, but they get the ball to start the second half. The Giants do, and we got to play better overall on defense in that second half.
Obviously, defensively, we knew right before this game that Jalen Carter was out dealing with that heel injury. He didn't even go out there and warm up. So that's been one of the things, maybe not enough to get pressure on Jackson Dart to create a little bit of that turnovers, which we know they can do.
Well, with young quarterbacks, it's about push up the middle.
Yeah.
You want to make them flinch. You want to make them move. And without Jalen Carter, that hurts. And Quinyon Mitchell also went out. So that's a huge loss with a hamstring.
Big loss there.
And hamstrings are hamstrings. So, you don't come back for those in a couple hours. So he's probably going to be out for a while, maybe a few weeks with a hamstring injury. And if you're a secondary player, especially a great corner like he is with great, lateral agility, you need your hamstrings.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't play that position with one hamstring. So that's going to be a big loss right now. And it's going to be a battle the second half. But I still think we're a better football team than the New York Football Giants. But
Agreed.
We got to prove it on the field.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the balance on offense. We were wondering after the meeting between Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Jalen Hurts that was earlier this week what they might look like. And it does seem a little bit more balanced. You're looking at 14 for 18 for Jalen Hurts, 164 yards. He's got the touchdown, obviously, the 30-yarder, so they are opening up a little bit. And then Saquon Barkley, 8 carries, 56 yards. 8, which is 2 more than they had in the entire game last week.
And the first couple carries of the game were explosive plays.
Exactly.
So I thought, oh, boy, it's going to be a big,
you thought it was going to be going,
big,
too.
Big day. But the Giants did adjust. And, I think Jalen's playing terrific right now. I think it was a little mess up there at the end of that first half. It was fourth down. He couldn't spike. He just kind of got caught. But you're out of field goal range. I don't think it made a big difference, but certainly had a chance if they would have had a timeout left to call timeout, which they didn't have that, or to run a play, and run a play was not feasible because there was only 1 second left on the clock, and they got called for the half ended. So it wasn't the best conceived 2-minute drill just before the half.
Of course, we heard, I think it's on the national stage and it will never not be heard, but they're talking about the tush push, and they ran it, I think, 4 straight times, it seemed like there. But
I think we caught a break, though, Amy.
There was definitely a little movement, so they zoom in. So I know they're going to be watching for that. But
they're supposed to be watching for it, at least what I understand.
They've been talking about it. They've been talking about it. But, until they stop it or until they outlaw it, Eagles are going to run it. But it looks like there's a lot more efficiency. We know this is an efficient team as far as how they usually run. They like to be risk averse, but it seems like they've opened up the playbook just a little bit, certainly more than what we saw in the second half against the Broncos.
No question about it. And I think, with the offensive line changes and things like that, Dallas Goedert now involved with the offense.
Very much
early,
so.
That opened up A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Here, our crowd cheering out there. I'm not sure if that's good or bad at this time.
That's it. I think the Dodgers just won, if I had to guess from the way. So obviously it's a very busy day here at NBC Sports Philadelphia.
But we're talking Eagles football.
That's exactly. So that's what, if you heard the crowd cheering out there, there is something happened. I don't know what it was, but I think the Dodgers just won. But the important thing for the Eagles is they're having that balance. Obviously, defensively, you'd like to get a little bit more pressure, but are you seeing what you need to see in the first half, judging from how, they let this go? Because we know they haven't been able to put together 2 halves yet, really, all season.
No, I'm not happy. And the offense, I'm okay. They're playing very, very good. The defense gave up 20 points. Jackson Dart is eating our lunch right now. His mobility. They're getting the receivers open. Their first 2 receivers are out.
That's the thing. Malik Neighbors out for the season, and Slayton is out for this game.
So we got a bunch of guys.
Wandale Robinson is exactly.
And obviously we have an injury in the secondary with Quinyon going out. That hurts us. But the defense looks uncharacteristic of a Vic Fangio defense. They're not getting pressure, which they haven't been getting pressure all year. We got to be realistic.
Yeah, to be honest, you're right.
He's tried some blitzes. Vic has brought some heat. It hasn't really worked. And Jackson Dart is eating our lunch with his movement and scrambles and getting outside the pocket. And they are running the ball just enough to keep our defense honest. And I always said, we talked in the pregame show, if you want to rattle a young quarterback, you've got to get pressure up the middle. You got to show him color.
Yeah, you wanted to see all that blue, right?
All that blue, honestly, blue in his face. Oh my God, I can't see anybody. I say blue in my face. We're not getting that kind of pressure right now. I'll give the Giants some credit. They've had a good game plan. They're sticking to it. And they didn't panic.
And defensively, the one thing that the Giants do have going for them on the defensive side is that defensive front. They've got guys we already saw at sack, obviously, from Burns, but they really have to have good pressure. Offensive line, we know.
I'll interrupt you there 1 second. I thought Abdul Carter coming out in the draft was the best player in the draft. He's out of Penn State. Either terrific. He was a terrific player for Nittany Lions. He's been all over the field in the first 5 games, and you can see he's making plays again today.
And that's the thing. I mean, they have that pressure. Are you liking what you've seen with the offensive line? Because obviously we know that Landon Dickerson is out. The Toth has been in.
Yeah, I'm okay with the offensive line right now, and in the passing game and the running game. It's been very, very effective. I mean,
agreed.
We got 68 yards rushing in the first half and 156 passing, so we're on track for close to 450 yards in the game, which would be our best this season right now. But I think the offensive line, I think the defense got to wake up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You really can't. You said it, and I think it was you and a couple. I think maybe Barrett did too. You just can't let this Giants team. They're young. You can't give them any kind of inch because they'll try to take it. And Jackson Dart has shown that if you give him a little bit, he's going to try to make that inch into a mile.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting as you were talking about that. I'm watching the Giants against our Eagles. They remind me of the Eagles like about 3 years ago.
Yeah,
a bunch of young guys having fun playing football, and they
we got nothing to lose, right?
And they've actually been playing that way this season, although they weren't winning. But they were turning the football over. If they turn the football over, we'll win the football game going away. But they haven't turned the football over, so it's kind of kept us in the game.
Yeah,
so
and that's the thing.
Another half to go.
Last week, you saw the Giants turn the ball over 5 times.
5 consecutive drives.
That's something you need to get done. Hopefully, maybe you can get one of those defensive touchdowns as well. Get something to go. That would certainly help. All right. Thanks so much for joining us here on In Game Live for Ron Jaworski. I'm Amy Fadool. This has been In Game Live, brought to you by Nissan. Of course, Jaws and I will be back with the crew on Eagles Post Game Live.